Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Larry Magid.
Wow, thank you so much. It's such a thrill to have all you guys here. We're really excited. So you guys are part of an event that's happening in 140 countries around the world. And this is the official United States event, although there are other events around the country. There's the National PTA, which is one of our sponsors. In fact, in a minute, you're going to hear from their national president, is sponsoring 200 events, smaller events around the country. But this is the big national event, and we're so excited to have you. The event is being streamed, so if you have friends anywhere in the world, they could be watching right now. And there will also be a video that you can watch later, and we'll do a highlight reel and all that great stuff. So you see the two cameras in back, you can wave to the cameras, and you're all famous. And of course, it's on YouTube. And later, if you want to get access to it, you can go to CID2020.org, and there'll be a live stream will be available to watch later. Another thing I want to let everybody know is how many people here, and by the way, it's okay if you have phones. How many people here have phones or other devices with them? Great. You are free to tweet. We want you to be on silent, but we encourage you to tweet, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. You're probably not using MySpace, but whatever you got, feel free to post. Obeying all the rules that we teach kids about making sure that everybody in the picture is cool about being in the picture, things of that nature. So the theme of Safer Internet Day, the global theme from all 140 countries around the world, is Together for a Better Internet. And that emphasizes that we're all in this together. Young people, parents, companies, community, industry, government, everybody has a role to play. And that's really what this is all about. It's about holding the companies accountable to make sure that they're doing everything to protect the safety, privacy, and security of their users, to hold parents accountable to make sure that they're encouraging their kids to go online. We want our young people online, but also making sure that they themselves are good role models and that they're allowing for helping their kids better understand. In fact, when you guys get home tonight, we want to encourage you to have a conversation with your folks and your siblings and your parents. Ask them how they're keeping safe online. Tell them about what you do to protect your privacy and safety online, what you learned today, because this is an ongoing conversation that everybody should be having. A couple of things. We have some great speakers today, and we know how hard it is to sit, so there are plenty of chances to get around, get up. We've got some amazing entertainment. You're going to hear Will Magid, and if you recognize the last name as being the same as mine, yes, he is my son. But he is also an award-winning, world-class musician who performs all over the world, and it was really tough to, I'm not kidding, it was tough to book him. He's so busy, but you'll hear him later. There's also going to be an interactive activity run by our Director of K-12 Education, Carrie Gallagher, a veteran educator, and during that time, you guys get to contribute. So it's not just listening, it's also participating. There's a step and repeat outside. If anybody ever watched the Oscars, the Emmys, or the Grammys, you've probably seen all the movie stars in front of this big banner that has logos of their advertisers. Same here, we're no different. You guys are the stars. During breaks, feel free to take pictures in front of this step and repeat. And the hashtag for the day is CID2020. So whether you're on Twitter, where hashtags are, of course, there, but you can also put hashtags, as you know, on TikTok and Instagram and anywhere else. And there's also a Snapchat filter. So look for that Snapchat filter if you post for Safer Internet Day. Another announcement is for those of you who can, I know many of you are going back on buses early, but if you're here after 2:30, if you can stay, the museum will be open and free for anybody to participate after 2:30. I apologize that it's not open during the day, but that's because you're here at the event. But after the event, for those of you who can stay, and I know many of you can't, you're welcome to be in the museum. So we're looking forward to it. Again, excited to have you here. And I'd like to introduce our partner, Leslie Boggs, who's the national president of the National PTA. So you guys probably had PTAs at your school. She runs the PTA through the entire country as the elected president. Leslie, come on up.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today, and thank you, Larry and the Connect Safely team, for putting together this wonderful event. It is such a pleasure to represent everyone in PTA and the over 3.5 million members that we have across this nation, which represents all of the children and families across our nation. We are very, very excited about the important work you're here about today. There's a classic newspaper comic of a dog sitting in front of a computer who is bragging to his friend about the success of his post, saying on the internet, "Nobody knows you're a dog." And while that is funny, it also brings back to an important part of what we're going to discuss today, is that anyone can pretend to be anything on the internet. When we're on the computer or on our phones, sometimes it feels like the things we do online don't really matter. But that's just not true. Many of us, especially you young adults and children here today, have seen or have personally experienced how much it hurts when someone spreads a rumor or shares a private photo or post. That's why we're all here together today. As the Safer Internet Day slogan says, we've gathered together to create a better internet. I am so proud of the work PTAs are doing across this great nation and have done to support this work through our incredible PTA Connected program. As parents ourselves, and in response to the needs and interests of parents nationwide, National PTA has been working for over 5 years to foster communication and engagement between parents and kids and young adults to establish and model healthy online safety habits. Through PTA Connected, our PTAs will be hosting 160 events throughout the country in celebration of Safer Internet Day. And we've already had some happening this morning in New York, and it's been quite successful. And we'll have over 100 more events happening throughout the year. I know that together, with the help of the industry heavyweights here today, we can make gaming, chat rooms, and social media apps a warm and welcoming as our living rooms and classrooms. I look forward to discussing all the ways we can make possible, and I thank you, Larry, I thank Rob with Google, and all of our partners here today. This is going to be a fantastic event, so thank you so very much.
Thank you, Leslie. Before I introduce the next speaker, I want to thank our sponsors, supporters, who've been great, not just with their financial support, but their moral support and their help and their organizing. We'll start with Google, and Google is over on that side. You should visit the Google and YouTube tables. They've got a lot of great information. They've done a lot of great work. So thank you, Google, for your tremendous support. I want to also thank Microsoft for helping us financially with this event. They've been great. NortonLifeLock, they are a great sponsor, and they've been really supportive all along, so thank you. And they've got great security product. Facebook, you all know about Facebook, which includes Instagram. Again, they've been a great supporter of this event for a number of years. Twitter has been helping out by promoting the event through hashtags and various other ways, so great supporter as well. Comcast, also known as Xfinity, the cable and internet company, has been one of our sponsors. Snapchat, which has created a filter for today, as I mentioned earlier. Trend Micro, another security company, and they've got a great booth over here with a wheel you can spin to win prizes. So, and we're going to hear later from one of the Trend Micro people about how students can win and earn a substantial amount of money by creating videos, but I'll leave it up to them. TikTok, how many people are using TikTok? Well, TikTok is again one of our supporters, and they're here. And they're also sponsoring our evening program for families, so thank you, TikTok. And finally, NCTA, which is the Internet and Television Association. And I also want to shout out for the National PTA, you heard from their president just a minute ago, and for My Digital Tattoo, which is a local organization that trains schools on internet safety. They're our partner for our family night this evening. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the mayor of Mountain View. We are in Mountain View. I know many of you are from other parts of the Bay Area, but Mountain View is our host, and Mayor Abe-Koga is here. Mayor?
Good morning. Yes, we are in Mountain View. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Margaret Abe-Koga, and I am the mayor of the city of Mountain View. And you are in Mountain View, so welcome to our fair city. Any folks from Mountain View? Great, yes. So welcome to all of you and all of our visitors today. It's really great to be here to see so many of you students, educators, nonprofits, and industry leaders to talk about how we can work together for a better internet. So I'm kind of old, I'll admit. I have two daughters who are actually teens. They're not here today, but I actually remember when the internet was created or was starting to pick up. And over the years, I've learned how to use it, learning how to use social media as a elected person. It's really important. One of our biggest jobs is to communicate what we do for the city. And so social media has definitely been helpful in our being able to communicate out to our residents and our voters. And so I've learned how to use some of the apps and the media. Not quite on TikTok yet, but trying to get my daughter to teach me that one. But as much as it is a powerful tool, it is also really important to learn about how to use it safely, how to be respectful of others as you communicate. And when you're I like to call myself a public official or a public servant. People call us politicians, but oftentimes you'll hear how we have to have a thick skin because we're often judged. People like to make comments, and that's really a big part of our job. And as much as it's always great to hear positive things, but we do, get quite a bit of criticism too. And personally, I've definitely experienced that. And as much as I've been in this world for almost 2 decades, so you do grow a thicker skin, but it's still hard to hear things that are, not positive or negative. And so I think that's what's so important about what we're talking about today, how to be on the internet, do it in a respectful way, do it in a positive way, as Leslie mentioned, making these forums welcoming, and especially for the young folks. As I mentioned, I have 2 daughters, and we talk about internet safety, and I hope that you do go home and talk with your parents about the topic and with each other too, just to be mindful of each other. So I'm really grateful that you're having this event. It's exciting that it's here, and we're part of an international celebration day. I think it's fitting to have it here in the Computer History Museum. It's amazing. I think about how Mountain View is this town of about 80,000, and we've been a kind of small town, but over the last decade or so, we really have become we call it the epicenter of Silicon Valley, and as a result of the tech world, and you're all here as part of that, helping to make history. So thank you all for being here and spending the day, and I hope you have a really good one. And please, visit the Computer History Museum if you have a chance. It's always good to know the past, to understand the present and the future. It's a saying that's often said, but there's a lot of history in this place, so hope you can see it. Thank you.
Thank you.